Hello and welcome to week 2 of Crayford's Grade 6 plus Maths revision. This week we're going to be looking at angles and polygons, changing the subject, error intervals and mean from a table. So, starting with angles in polygons, we need to understand what an exterior angle is, what this angle notation means and what a polygon is. So a polygon is any shape with straight lines. DBC is the angle from D to B to C, so that will be this angle here. And it says it's an exterior angle of a polygon. Now on any polygon, so that's any shape, so here's my triangle, that's a polygon. An exterior angle is where I extend a side out and it's the side angle between that and the next side. So this is the angle between this and DB is the side of the polygon, AB is the side of the polygon. The sum, the total of the exterior angles of any polygons is 360 degrees. It doesn't matter how big it is because eventually it does a full turn around the whole shape. This we'd call the interior angle. We don't need that to answer this question, but it's useful to know. And you will notice that the interior and the exterior together add up to make 180 degrees. So for this question, show that the polygon's regular. That means all angles are equal. Well, all exterior or all interior angles are equal. So what I know is that if I did 360 degrees divided by the number of sides, I would get the size of this one exterior angle, if it's a regular shape. So let's test that. So I'm just going to work out using my fact families. I can do 360 degrees divided by 30 and I will get n, where n is the number of sides. 360 divided by 330, so it is 12. So there are 12 sides. This is an integer, so it is a dodecagon, which you don't need to know, but it's handy. It's got 12 sides, so it has to be a regular polygon because we've got a correct number of sides. When you're ready, pause the video and have a go at your turn. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier. Here, we haven't got the exterior angle, because it says again, this is the exterior angle, this is the interior angle. So to work this out, we'll do 180 degrees minus 105 degrees. So this angle is 75 degrees. So I'll do the exact same thing. The total of the exterior angles divided by the number of sides, if it's regular, will equal 75 degrees. So to work out how many sides it should have, we'll do 360 divided by 75 to get n, which is the number of sides, and then we'll see if it's regular. This can turn up on a calculator or a non-calculator paper. And I get, if you just have a little look there, 4.8. That's not a regular amount of sides. That's not an amount of sides. You can't have a 4.8 sided shape. So not regular. Okay, step 2. Make x the subject of this. So the subject in this case at the moment is y. It's where it occurs on its own. There's no other versions of it in the equation, and it's not like 5x or anything like that. We're just keeping it straightforward. This works exactly like solving. So I'd work backwards. I'm going to take away 3 from both sides. Y minus 3 equals x over 5. X over 5, that means it's currently divided. So I'm going to need to multiply by 5. Now on this side that's easy because dividing by 5 and multiplying by 5 just cancel out. When I look on this side I need to multiply everything by 5. So I'll get 5y minus 15. When we double check, x is in one place, it's nowhere else. That is my final answer there. Now here's one for you to have a go at. Again, pause the video, have a go at it, and then check back for your answer. Okay, in this one, y isn't already the subject because it's 3y, not y. but it doesn't matter because I'm looking to make x the subject. So again, I'm just going to very carefully solve it. I'm going to start by working backwards by taking away that 3 from both sides. So that will give me 3y minus 3. I can't do that any more simply because that's 3 lots of y. Take away 3. I'm just going to leave it. And that will leave the minus 5x here. I just want x, so I need to divide through by negative 5, which will give me x equals 3y minus 3 over negative 5. If you're feeling really fancy, you can multiply through by negative 1 and get 3 minus 3y over positive 5, but leaving it like that, you'll still get the marks. Okay, we're looking at error intervals now. So it's been rounded. I've got 3.4, I have already rounded it. So to start with, I'm just thinking, well, what are my options on my number line? It's been rounded and I've ended up at 3.4. So the other options here, well, it could have rounded up to 3.5 or down to 3.3. So I know what this number is here, halfway between 3.3 and 3.4, 3.35. And what's this one, halfway in between here? 3.45. Remember, if you're struggling with that, pop a little extra 0 on the end and you can see quite clearly, halfway between 40 and 50 is 45. Anytime it's decimals like this with error intervals, if it helps you, pop the extra 0 on the end. It's the error interval. In the exam, you'll get a line, you will get a letter already, and these symbols like so. This includes it. Then you've just got to put your numbers in the right place. Here's the one for you. I will give you your answer line. So you've just got to work out these two numbers here. Pause the video, have a go. Are we ready? So 17.5 17.2 in the middle, 17.3, 17.1, halfway in between then would be, well, let's pop our zeros on, make our life easier, 17.15, and that would be 17.25, halfway between 20 and 30. So that will give me 17.15 and 17.25. Hope you got that right. It's a nice quick one today. We're on our last one, mean from a grouped frequency table. So this is a grouped table and it wants an estimate. Now, the reason it's an estimate is because we don't know what any of these numbers are. All we know is they're between 0 and 2, and that there were 5 of them. So I am going to say, to estimate this, I'm going to call that 1. That's halfway in between from 0 to 2. Halfway from 2 to 4 is 3, and halfway from 4 to 6 is 5. That number's called the midpoint, but you don't need to know that to do this question. So the halfway point, that's my estimate. So there were 5 ones. Now the long way of doing that would be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So because as we know for mean, we're adding them all up and dividing by how many there are. You might have spotted that instead I could do 1 times 5, which is 5. For this one then, I'll be doing 3 times 8, which is 24, because that will be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, and so on. And then for the last one, 5 times 7, which is 35. Then I just need to add these all up, so that'll be 40, 64. So that's the total. That's add them all up. And I need to divide by how many there are. Now, some people want to say there's 3 because there's 3 groups here. But that's like if I asked you how many students are there in year 11 and I said, well, there are 7 classes. You'd give me a bit of a funny look because that doesn't help you. You want to know how many are in each class and then add them up. So we've got 5 in the first class, 8 in the second, and 7 in the last. So that gives me 5, add 8, add 7. 5, add 8, add 7. That's your total frequency. So that's 64 divided by 20. which you can work out to be 3.2. That's your answer for an estimate. You can and will get decimals for this. Then I just do a little sense check. I go back. Is 3.2 between 0 and 6? About halfway. Yeah, that looks about right. Oops, sorry about that. So your turn now. Have a go at this. Pause the video. Unpause it when you're ready. Okay, so for this one again, the estimate, so halfway between 0 and 4 is 2. We're going to estimate this, so that will be 7, and we're going to estimate this to be 13. And again, then I'm going to be doing 2 times, well, right over here for a bit of space, 2 times 4 to get 8, 7 times 7 to get 49, and 13 times 9 to get 117. I am going to double check that on the calculator. I'm very proud of myself for that one. And then I'm going to add these all up to get 174. And then I need to do 174 divided by 4, add 7, add 9. So that is 174 divided by 4, add 7, add 9, divided by 20. Use my calculator for that. Is 8.7. I just do a quick check. 8.7 is between 0 and 16, about halfway. Yeah, that looks about right. Don't forget to fill out the form so your maths teacher can see that you have done this. See you next week.